Blizzard just launched the World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria Remix, a totally new way to experience the game for a limited time up until the new expansion comes out. And the question, of course, is should you come back to play this game? With over 100 million people who've played World of Warcraft at some point, there's no doubt that you've in some way experienced the game, whether it be you played since Classic, you jumped in with a friend at some point, you watched the South Park episode, there's some way you have interacted with World of Warcraft up to this point. So, now that they're launching this new mode, should you come back? Should you experience it for the first time? If you're on a break, should you try it? If you're playing the regular WoW, is it worth jumping over to this? Let's talk about it. To answer the barrage of questions that I just asked, I'm going to say yes. It's overwhelmingly yes. This is how leveling should be in a video game. I just did a Diablo video where I hammered it because its leveling is boring. A lot of games treat leveling as an afterthought, that, oh, well, you're supposed to level up in video games, so we're going to have the ability to level up. But they don't care about that, right? The end game focus is what they really care about, whether it be getting gear, grinding leaderboards, raiding, whatever the game has for an end game. They don't really care about the leveling experience. They care about you getting to end game so you can do the things that they actually want you to do. And World of Warcraft has been a victim of this for a very, very, very long time. Classic WoW was the first game, the base game, and that one had a leveling experience because that was what the game was about leveling. Every expansion after that was about raiding, doing dungeons, other things, so the leveling was just kind of tacked on as a, well, you're supposed to do it, so here, go level. But Pandaria Remix dares to ask the question, what if leveling was fun again? They don't really take it too seriously. There is an end game, and that is just farming up currency for transmog, but you can do that anyway. You can go do scenarios, you can do dungeons, you can do raids if you want to, or you can just walk around the world, do quests, and power up. The choice is yours how you want to play, but the interesting thing is they give you abilities from other classes, gems that give you superpowers, and your cloak is constantly leveling up with things that you pick up or things that you find. Every enemy you take down gives it a little bit more power, and that's what makes it so much fun. It's focused on making the leveling experience a little wacky and a little bit fun as compared to get through it as fast as possible so that you can get to the real game. And this is what World of Warcraft needs right now. Dragonflight, in my personal opinion, I did not enjoy at all, so I quit. I didn't play Dragonflight hardly at all. So having an ability to catch up before the next expansion, which I do plan to play, gives me a chance to get back into the game, level up some characters, get some gear, and get ready for the new expansion without having to play in an expansion that I had zero fun in. I also know this addresses one of the huge complaints people have every time a new expansion comes out. They're like, well, I want to switch to a different class, but I don't want to go through the leveling again because leveling is boring and slow and I get burned out and I just end up playing the same class over and over and over again. Well, now you have a fun leveling experience. You have no excuse. It's accelerated. You can play with other classes. Just jump in, start playing the class you want, and you're going to level them up before the next expansion. So if you want to switch mains, you can. I know some people are going to come in here and be disappointed because they thought that this was going to be like Mists of Pandaria Classic, where we were going to have like the old talent trees from Mists of Pandaria, or the classes were going to be set up like that. But Blizzard never advertised this as that. This is retail time walking with a few twists. Like I said, grabbing other people's abilities, for example. It was never meant to be a classic experience. It's meant to be a twist on a current experience to give you just another way to level up and play, and to that end it succeeds very, very well. That being said, it is, as the name implies, a remix of the current experience, so if you don't enjoy the way WoW plays, such as the tab targeting, the way the classes are set up, having tons of buttons, those sort of things, this doesn't change that. It's going to be the same experience as that. So if you don't happen to enjoy those things, chances are this isn't going to be an experience you enjoy, and it'll probably be one worth skipping, again, if you don't enjoy those things. I appreciate that the intro quests are nice and short and nothing too intensive. One of my main complaints about modern day gaming, especially games that have come out in the last 5 years, is that they just give you so much exposition that's like, okay, I want to play this game, and now I'm going to watch a cutscene, and then I'm going to read some lore, and then I'm going to watch another cutscene, and then I'm going to slow walk for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to read some lore, and then I'm going to watch another cutscene, and you don't get to play for 2 or 3 hours. With this, you read 1 or 2 quests that are maybe a paragraph long, and you're out there killing beasts, leveling up, getting the power, and in the game. It jumps you in very, very fast, and I really appreciate that it just gets you going, says go level, go do the things, go have fun. Another thing I absolutely love is just giving you so much gear. You get gems that do different things, you get tons and tons of gear, your bags are filling up with tons and tons of shinies, and that feels great. It feels wonderful to have all these options, all these things to look at, all these things to customize your character, and again, experience this overpowered experience, because that's how you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel like a monster, like you are the main character. And they're doing a great job of that, even at a low level. However, I will say on the flip side of that, there are a few fights where I've already gone over my head, like, oh, I almost died in that fight because I overestimated my abilities. So it's a good balance of making you feel powerful, feel like a main character, but also not like the Diablo 4 experience, which is like, all right, I'm jamming one button, everything's dying, I have no fear. Now, this mode did just come out, so I've only experienced the leveling so far. I haven't quite jumped into any of the scenarios or the raiding. I have heard that you might be able to solo all of those things, like you'll get so powerful at some point you could solo a raid. I don't know if that's actually confirmed. That might have just been some rumors or high hopes that people had, but I can see you getting to that point. Over the course of an hour of playing or so, I gained something like 10 levels and like 20 or 30 stamina, as well as a bunch of other miscellaneous stats here and there. So if that pace keeps up, I could see after playing for 10 hours, 20 hours, being an absolute monster with all those bonus stats. Because again, they want you to be overpowered. They're not going to limit you. Those stats are coming in and in and in, and you are going to enjoy those. The only way I could see someone not having fun in this mode, besides if you just don't enjoy the tab targeting system or the way WoW is set up like we discussed earlier, is if you just so happened to play the Mists of Pandaria expansion recently in Time Walking. Because again, that core story is not changing. There's a couple quests that make you say, okay, we're doing Time Walking, the Time Walkers are here, that sort of thing. But for the most part, it's the same quests, it's the same experience. So if you just so happened to go through it, yesterday, maybe it'll be a little boring, but even then, I think the superpower is worth going through the same quests, because that's what WoW is with the leveling, right? How many of us have only done a quest once? We've probably all done these quests a million times at this point. Another feature that I super enjoy is that as your cloak levels up, after you hit certain milestones, if you create another character, that cloak will move over to that character, which means the first time you're leveling up, it'll be a little bit slower, but the second time, it'll be faster. Third time, it'll be faster. Fourth time, it'll be even faster and even stronger. So if you have to do like some heritage quest armor, or you want some classes in different races, or you want to experience something you haven't done before, now's your opportunity. Again, this is a great opportunity to play with things you don't usually play with, level up classes or races you don't usually level up, because you get that extra power and that huge experience bonus. I think I'm at 5%, 10% already, again, after just 1 hour of play, and that'll carry over my next character. It is a great chance to experience World of Warcraft for all that it is. And the rewards, I know I touched on them a little bit, but there's like every transmog. You can get the Tusks of Manaroth that people have been farming since Mists of Pandaria came out. There's a ton of mounts, there's pets, there's exclusive armors, there's all sorts of things. So if you just want to play to get transmog or get other things, this is for you. It gives you a chance to do something new, to go gain something, to cut down the cost or the time of farming these things on Ringtail, and giving yourself a great ability to have fun while doing it. And I'm pretty sure Dragonflight is only $30 right now, and I believe that includes the game time that comes with it, so realistically it's $15 and then $15 for game time. I think that's a pretty good deal for giving yourself pretty much unlimited replayability for at least the next 3 months. I mean, I think we've all spent $70 on a game that we only played for a few minutes and thought it was absolute garbage, right? So $30 for 3 months of gameplay, even if you only come to do this, I think you'll still walk away satisfied. I really don't have anything negative to say about this game mode. And again, the only negative things that I've seen are people complaining about it's not what they want it to be, even though Blizzard never pretended that it was going to be something else. So I don't really see many valid complaints against it. It's worth picking up, it's worth going out and experiencing, and again, if you haven't played WoW in a long time, it's a great chance to catch up. If you have a current WoW subscription, it's a great chance to get transmog or experience something new. This is a breath of fresh air, and I really hope that Blizzard continues to implement things like this, because this is peak World of Warcraft for me. Have a blessed day.